Let's continue over here with another question.
Good afternoon, sister. May the Lord continue blessing you forever. Sister, the question is as follows. In Revelation verse 19, at the end of the verses states the following. Chapter 19, forgive me. Chapter 19, verse 10. It states at the end, worship God, for the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy. In regards to this, I have the following question. Is there any other explanation that you, sister, can give in order for us to understand why prophecy is the testimony of Jesus?
In Revelation 19, verse 10, it says that John fell at the feet of the angel who spoke to him and said to him, I fell at his feet to worship him, but he said to me, see that you do not do that. I am your fellow servant and of your brethren who have the testimony of Jesus. He says, I am a fellow servant with you. So the angel tells John, I'm a servant of God and you are a servant of God. So I'm a fellow servant. And of what? They are servants of the gospel of Jesus Christ, of the testimony of Jesus. And the testimony of Jesus is the gospel of Christ. The gospel of Christ is the Holy Spirit manifesting himself among men, among humanity, the Spirit of God in the church, in the congregation, in the hearts of human beings. That is the pure gospel of Jesus Christ, the manifestation of the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of God. That is the testimony of Jesus. And he says, worship God. For the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy, because the prophets in antiquity prophesied concerning Jesus Christ. They prophesied about the pure gospel of Christ. They prophesied concerning the good tidings of the plan of salvation. The prophets of antiquity prophesied concerning that special day called Jesus Christ, and that is called the testimony. They prophesied, or they testified, we could say, concerning Jesus Christ. This is why it says the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy, that the prophets in antiquity had prophesied regarding Jesus Christ. Now, for our time, after with the gospel, there are the spiritual gifts of the Holy Spirit, and God exists among the congregation, God in the hearts of men and women, God with us. As Isaiah had said, that in the future, God would come to teach us himself, his doctrine, and that a son would be born, a being who would be called Emmanuel in the Greek language, which means God with us. And so that is how it is, because God is with us. How? Well, through the Spirit of God, through the Holy Spirit, through those wonderful spiritual gifts he gives us. So that is the difference. There are other churches, other denominations who are so-called Christians and believe in Jesus Christ. And the brother said, well, the gift of prophecy is not manifested. The spiritual gifts are not manifested among them. Well, because perhaps they haven't prepared their hearts for God. If they had prepared their heart for God, to love God, well, then I'm sure God would give them his spirit, would speak to them, give them the spiritual gifts, or bring them together with us. That's what God does, and that's the promise God made from the beginning, that all he or she who loves him and who seeks the spiritual things, God would bring them out of those places and would gather them with us, would give them his spirit. So that is the spirit of prophecy, what those in the past had spoken about Jesus Christ.